You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. Welcome to my daily review. The Nasdaq was the weaker index today as the news of the rebalancing of the Nasdaq 100 hit some of its stocks like Amazon, Google, Tesla, NVDA, Apple. And so it was weak for most of the day, but actually ended up with a 24% gain. And what happened was it recaptured its 10 EMA. So it's trading at 0.2% above the 10 and 1.2% above the 21. It's in a power trend. You can see that it ran from March 13th up to June 16th, and it's been digesting those gains ever since, which is exactly what you want to see. Just this nice little pullback back to a moving average, doing nothing wrong. It could go sideways for another couple of weeks. Who cares? Let that 21 just grind higher. Yeah, the Nasdaq looks good to me. Like I said, the bigger stocks were sold off a little bit today. Here's Apple, came down to its 21 and then bounced a little bit into the close. It was only down 1%. So, typically with this type of action, the news comes out and the stocks get hit. And then when the actual rebalance happens on the 24th, it's a big nothing burger. And the stock doesn't do anything when the actual rebalance happens. We'll wait and see. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be much of a big deal. Google here sliced its 50 though today. It was down 2.5%. That is not a good look for Google. Amazon sold off again back to its 21. So that one, just selling off with the news. 21's fine. This is NVIDIA just holding right there at 420. It's 4 weeks tight, and just marking time right now. Tesla pulled back to the 10, and found support down, a little more than 1% today. Not a big deal. So those are those large stocks that move the indexes. Microsoft as well sliced its 21 here, closed almost 1% below the 21. So we'll see. I suspect these will find support here and be fine going forward. I did want to take a look at a couple of sectors today that caught my eye. Obviously, the airline stocks, which have been on our watch list, some of them, these ones have been performing well. You got to look at the weekly here. This is a pretty good sized base here, and now it's trading above an area where would be probably considered chasing there. Alaska, that was American Airlines. This is Alaska. Once again, they're getting a little extended here. You can see this stage 1 base, and now it's they've been up for a couple of months now, just kind of ramping higher, just gradually going higher. Delta Airlines is one of the leaders, one of the larger cap stocks here. You got to take a look at the weekly here. Is it broke out of this stage 1 base? This one's been up, God, like 8 or 9 weeks in a row. So Delta looks good. UAL is another one. Delta reports this week on Friday, I believe, later this week. And this one, United, still looks like it's kind of going sideways. Still possible buy area, actionable area here, depending on your risk tolerance, and if you want to get involved with the airlines. But the airlines have been doing well. Also, the oil and gas, the field services stocks. I talked about this one, Tidewater. Just formed a nice little base here of consolidation, and now it's up and out of there. And I'd consider that chasing at this point. OII is another one of the field and services stocks, and this one is more actionable and would not be considered chasing like Tidewater. This one looks good as well. Weatherford is not the field services, is more the equipment, but this one looks strong as well. Just consolidating here in a base still, and I wouldn't consider that chasing. I mean, if you want in on this sector, I'm really not interested in this sector. This one looks typically don't show stocks under $10, but this one is a set up in a base here and looks pretty good if you're into that type of thing. And Baker Hughes, made a new high today. So these stocks are doing well. Just something to make note of. I am not really interested in oil and gas, but I know a lot of people are, and they're doing well. The home builders, another sector that's doing well. This is Pulte, pulled back last week to the 21, found support, and it looks just fine. Lennar is another one in this group. Pull back to the 21, bounce today, 2.7%. DR Horton, DHI, recaptured its 21 today. These are strong stocks. Builder, which is a supplier, didn't even get down to the 21. It just recaptured its 10 today, up 1.62%. So those ones look good as well. Another group that I like, and these ones have been on our watch list here for a few weeks, is the cybersecurity group. This is Fortinet. We've talked about this over and over again. This big base here, about 18 months, 74.35 was the buy point, and now this week it's ramping up above that level, up at 78 after hours. So to me, that looks like it's just getting going. The bigger the base, the higher in space, as the old saying goes. That's a pretty big 18-month base there. And on the daily, it looks extended a little bit here. Nice move though, and it's a 4.3% above its 10 EMA, but that would not shake me. Zscaler is another one. Now pattern rec's not picking up on this. I consider this a base here at the 143, traded down. Made a little bottoming pattern. It came up to 162, which is a high handle, but then formed this like bull wedge here as it pulled back to its 21. You can see the 10 and the 21 are converging there. And then today popped, no, but this is wrong. Something's wrong with this. Yeah, it's 154 after hours. Oh, well, let's see what this does. Yeah, 154.27. So nice move today. You can see there on the weekly chart, this little bull wedge pattern here of about 3 or 4 weeks, and then today popped. That's a nice pinch and pop there for Zscaler. Not sure what happened here. There you go. There you go. There's that wedge pattern, and then the pop. Very nice. Very nice Zscaler. The other one is Palo Alto Networks, the one that I really like. But this one had its move. We talked about this one too. This one looks a lot like Fortinet, right? This big consolidation, big area of consolidation. You could actually do this too. This big base here like that. Just came across here about 207 and then blasted higher. We expected about a 20% gain, and it's right there. So it's in the profit taking zone. But it looks good. Crowdstrike's another one that's kind of lagging the field here. We had this one at a buy point here at 140, and then it took off and then pulled back after earnings to the 21. It just really hasn't been able to get going here. And now it's still, around 150. But anyway, the cybersecurity stocks look good to me. Just a random walk now through some stocks that I noticed and that I like. One is Crocs, breaking above its downtrend line here in the last few sessions. And now it's above its 50, up 4.3% today. Nice $5 move. So Crocs is looking better. ENVX is another one, story stock, not a lot of earnings, but this one we had here. This is why I say buy the breakouts. People talk about, buying the breakouts, or you're going to get suckered into a breakout. But if you bought this breakout here, you're at least 10% to the good here. It broke out this day. I forget the news. It was an Army contract. That's right. So if you bought it even near the high at $16, it's at 19 now. So, you're up 20%. So don't be afraid of breakouts with volume. It's institutions buying these things. DraftKings is another one. You can't kiss all the babies. We had this one on our watch list here at 2162 a while back. And I always tell you, I'd take them off the watch list because once they get extended here up at 25, but this one pulled back to the 21 has just kind of been floundering around, and recently just pulled back to its 21 the last couple sessions and made a nice move. That's why I say when I take them off the watch ready list, you still, you got to watch them because they make big moves. They go on for greater gains. It's just, I don't want to be buying extended stocks. That's all. And that's it for today. Oh, in the honor of the late great Steve Jobs, one more thing. TGTX, this is not to be ignored. This broke its downtrend line here on Friday with volume, and then followed up today, a nice 6% move. This one has a ton of shorts in it, heavy short interest. So up 8% Friday, follows it up with a 6% move today. Yeah, I would not ignore that move there. This one has the ability, you always got to look to the left to see how, the stock moves. And you can see when it moves, it makes these violent moves higher, just ramps, then pull back into this base and just ramps higher again. And now has this long pullback below the moving averages. But now, like I said, it has the ability to move fast. So, and also it could just form a base here. I'm going to go back a day here and kind of analyze TG Therapeutics a little closer. This could be construed as a double bottom base here as it went down to 24, made a little run up to 29, and then now has pulled back here to lower area. But the last couple sessions, like I say, it's ramped higher. Yeah, pull back to 2202. So eventually that could be a double bottom base as it builds the right side of its base here. This is what I would expect, something, like this, and get back towards the 30 level. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. TGTX is definitely one not to sleep on and not to be ignored. Anyway, we never give up.